All right, guys. So good morning. Welcome. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's have somebody bring us out on the field first. And then after that, I'm going to turn it over to Kevin Magna. He is going to introduce his guests. So let's see whose camera's on and who I can call on. Actually, Michael Swanson, my man, I'm going to turn it over to you. You always got powerful insight. You make great videos. You're comfortable on video. So my man, I'm going to turn it over to you and have you bring us out on the field on this glorious, beautiful Wednesday morning.
This is my first time doing this. I've been waiting on you to call me, so let's get it in. So happy Wednesday, everyone. I guess for the smokers, happy 420. Let's keep it, let's stay busy today. Let's keep it going. It's the middle of the week. Let's not let up. Any issues we got going, let's fight through them. Let's push, man. We're a strong, smart group. We work hard. Let's push through the week. Let's end it fast. Let's end it good. Let's get it.
I love it, man. I love it. And I appreciate you being here. And you know what? I didn't know that you wanted to bring us out on the field. And so if anybody wants to ever say, hey, Elias, I wanted to bring the team out on the field, like I'm open to it. And mind you, I'm only going to pick somebody that has their camera on. I know you guys all have powerful insight, but if you want to contribute, all I ask is that you guys have your camera on. So let's turn it over to Kevin Magna. Kevin Magna, who do we have in the room today? We have a lot of people on the call. So Kevin Magna, who's our guest?
Yeah, thanks, Elias. I want to introduce the team to Clarissa Hammer. Clarissa and I are aligned as mentor and mentee at EXP, and I wanted her to experience a little bit of the Team Fast vibe. So welcome today, Clarissa. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, Clarissa? Where are you dialing in from today?
I'm in San Leandro.
Nice, very nice. And
Yeah.
how long have you been in real estate?
I got my license in April. Worked as a licensed assistant for a few months, and I got to EXP probably like two weeks ago. So I'm pretty new.
I love it. I love it. Well, welcome, you guys. I need a little bit of help from each of you. If you guys can do this, what are some things that people can expect if they're in this environment? If there is a guest on the line today, if you had one word or two words, like if you could just load up the chat down below so anybody that's on here can get a sense of what they may expect, whether that's camaraderie, maybe that's passion, maybe that's energy, maybe it's excitement. If you guys can do me a favor, load up that chat so they can all kind of see a sense of what they're going to take from this group. So do me a favor, take a second, load up that chat. I appreciate you guys' transparency, value. So keep it coming. Community, I love it. Warmth, accountability, emotion. I can't even keep up. So load that up. Clarissa, take a look. And for all of our other guests on the line today, take a look. That's what to expect in this environment. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a couple questions for you guys. We're going to have some dialogue. Some major things are happening in the real estate market. So I want to make sure that we are sharp, that we are wordsmith, that we understand how to have this dialogue with consumers. But first and foremost, a couple things that I wanted to cover before we got into the dialogue and the conversation about the market. If you guys can, if you are not driving right now, I want you to take a second to write down 5 to 10 things. And if you don't have time right now, I want you to come back to this. I want you to write down 5 to 10 things that you are truly, truly passionate about in your life. And let's just take a step away from real estate for a moment. I want you to write down 5 to 10 things that you are truly, truly passionate about in your life, right? I saw a post that Kenny posted, and I read that, and it really sparked some thoughts in me. And this came up. What is your and? Meaning, you're in real estate, but if you are just posting a bunch of stuff about real estate, I promise you, no matter who you are, how productive, how busy you are in this business, people are going to tune you out. I promise you that. They're going to tune you out because all they see is one side of you. So what I took from that article, what I took from that message is, what is your and, right? So I'll give you some examples here. So it's real estate and music. Obviously, you guys know that I'm a huge lover of music and a huge lover of collecting vinyl. Real estate and music, real estate and family, real estate and travel, growth, food, culture, people, human behavior, dogs, cats, beaches, art, community, weed, since it's 420, nightlife, adventure, right? Like, what is your and? Because I promise you, you might post a bunch of real estate stuff, and that real estate stuff is maybe going to attract the people that are maybe looking for real estate. And let's just stay here for a second. But what about all the other like-minded people that want to follow Kevin Magna because he's a dad and he talks about the community, that want to connect with Michael Swanson because he's into music, that want to follow Beverly because she's into the things that she's into. So now you find a different type of consumer, a different type of person that attracts to you because of the human side of you. So I want you to get clear on your messaging. So 5 to 10 things that you're truly passionate about in your life. And I'm sure we all have those things. Now look at your list. Then I want you to look on your Instagram and I want you to reflect and say, does anything that I'm actually passionate about, is anything that I'm actually passionate about on my Instagram? Or is it just the same old bullshit? Just listed, just sold, pending. That's all important. Don't get me wrong, but it needs to be sprinkled in with other messaging as well. And then if you look at your Instagram and you say it's empty, you guys know what's up here. You guys know we talk about this all the time. You guys know if you are not creating content right now, if you are not speaking your voice, if you're not talking about the things that you're passionate about, you're missing out on a huge segment of the business. If you have been in this business and you are still scared of making videos, you have to get over that fear. The only way that you're going to be able to do that is just hit record. I promise you it will come together. But if you hear this all the time, you see this on social, you see all these people that are creating videos and posting on a frequent basis, there's nothing that is different than you. I had an agent the other day tell me this, and she's on the call today. This is not for public shame in any way, shape, or form. She told me, I don't post because I don't want to seem like I don't know what I am talking about. And I thought this was a powerful conversation. So here's what my dialogue was with this agent. Well, then don't post about those things. Take all the things that you're doing in your life, your beautiful experience, your kids, your family, the food, the culture, the music, the growth, the community, all the things that you truly know. Because here's what you know, and you know very well. You know your own experience. You know your own interpretation of the things that are happening around you. You know your own trials, your own tribulations, you know your own experiences and everything that we're talking about. So everything that you want to talk about. So talk about the things that you're going through. That's it. You are an expert at those things. And as you grow and as you learn things about the market, then yeah, obviously add to it, but start with who you are as a person and what you're going through. So I want to ask somebody on this call who's wrote down anything on their list, the 5 to 10, who has a couple things that they've jotted down. And thank you for sharing that, Kenny. I appreciate that. Who has a list that they want to share about what their and is? It's real estate and. Who has a list that they want to share? Nicole, let's hear from you. Pop this off. I want to hear from you.
Just being a good mom and being present, as well as and I don't know, Singapore, but also insurance.
Okay, so non-business, like obviously you're passionate about. I don't want to hear about business. Like, what are you passionate about in this life?
My kids and yeah, just being a good mom. I don't really do the social stuff.
It's really hard to hear you, Nicole. Your mic is really, really muffled.
Being a mother.
Okay. All right, cool. Cool. So Damian, let's hear from you. 5 to 10 things that you're passionate about right now. What is your and? Hey, Boomer, you're muted.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Now you can hear me. All right. I think yesterday you kind of alluded to this question, and I thought about it before I got that post on Instagram yesterday. I was like, damn, wait a minute, I do a lot of things. So yeah, I was reminded of that yesterday. But the things I wrote down, my faith, my wife, my kids, my music. I can't go a day without reading books, writing, fashion, and basketball. Like what is that, like 6 or 8? But yeah, those are things that I'm really into. And like I said yesterday, when you kind of struck that question without posing it this way, I reflected on my Instagram, and it kind of does mirror what I'm interested in. So that's cool to see.
Yeah, and you know what? There was probably a time where it didn't, correct?
Oh, for sure. It was definitely imbalanced before I joined this team. Like, a year ago, you convinced me to not have 2 pages because I was trying to separate church and state. I didn't want anybody knowing the artistic endeavors that I'm into. And I just had to realize that I'm not doing anything bad. Like I have a real estate license because I don't have a record. Like I'm not a criminal. I don't do anything that's not uplifting these days anyway. I don't even cuss in my music anymore. So it's like, stop hiding yourself and present that to everybody. Like, it's valuable.
Dude, like you are one of the most swagged out people that I've ever met. You got style. You're a great writer. You're a great father. You read, like, dude, like all those things. Now you're starting to see it. And then, like you're on the Team Fast Instagram and like they, put that series of pictures of you up. And I just thought it was powerful. So good stuff. Danielle Martinez, you had your hand up. Let's hear from you. You're still muted.
Sorry, I was muted and driving. Okay. No, I just want to say what is important to me besides real estate, my family, my health, and staying healthy. Because I realize with the health scare that I have, you get one chance and it can be gone. So that's what I'm passionate about. I need to be here for my kids as long as I can, regardless of anything else going on. That's my passion.
Okay, so let's stay here for a second. And thank you for the vulnerability. Imagine this. Imagine if you just created a video about mind, body, and soul, about taking care of yourself and about the things that you do on a daily to stay conscious about the choices that in your fitness and what you're doing. Like, that's a powerful video, Danielle, right? Because someone else is going to see that and be like, God, like that's someone I align with, right? If I'm going to search for real estate, like I would rather do business with somebody like that because you know what? I've been through something like that. Right? So you take away from just having a singular thought about, I'm going to help people buy or sell real estate. You attract other people in different ways that are aligned with who you are as a person. And I promise you, that's who you want to do business with, right? Someone that connects with you because they fought through some of the same challenges you did. They are a writer, they're into fashion, whatever that is, you're going to find that. So Danielle, I want to push you. I want to implore you. I want to encourage you to speak about the things that you know about. Fuck everything else. And excuse me, you guys, all that other stuff doesn't really matter if it doesn't come out passionately, right? You could sit there, someone's like, oh, I want to create a video on escrow. That's a Snorville based on who told that to me. Some of you, it might work, but based on that person who told me that, I'm like, dude, that doesn't even align with what I think your messaging should be. So Danielle, thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing. Let's go to Beverly. We'll go to Amanda. We'll go to Otis. Beverly, you are up next. And Beverly, congratulations.
Thank you.
You are out closing deals. You're in contract. You're out helping agents. Cynthia is hyping you up on the meeting, saying thank you for all of your support and all your help. So Beverly, let's hear from you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the things that I wrote down is nothing that's on my Instagram. So, but should be. I wrote down art. I love art. I used to draw a long time ago, so I draw. Music. I love music. I used to be in a group.
Nice.
I played the piano. Family. I'm very passionate about my family, my kids. I have 2 daughters. I like travel. I have a dog. I love being outside in nature, I like spa, and I think it's, I like spas.
Yes.
And I'm very passionate about being healthy and, taking care of my health, eating right, things like that.
Okay, I got goosebumps right now. It's hard to see past all this ink on my arm. So like, I didn't know anything. I knew you had a daughter. I've met her before on the screen, right? I knew obviously family is important, but I had no idea that you were in a group. What was the name of the group?
Well, I grew up in church, so I sang in a gospel group with my family. So the Walls family. So
were you a baritone?
We were known in churches. Huh?
Where were we at on the scale of music? Were you like the lower scale? Were you the higher scale? Like where were you at?
Well, we would sing around in local churches and things like that. So
I love this. I love this. Never knew that you played piano, right? Never knew that you were into music. What's your favorite genre of music?
I like R&B. I mean, I love gospel and I love R&B.
Cool. Do you collect records? Do you collect music at all?
I don't collect
Okay,
records,
but
but
you
I
listen
do
to.
love, what I like the older ones. I like DeBarge.
Yes.
I love Prince. I love Michael Jackson. I mean, I love so many. It's not just one.
All right, so let's just do a quick survey here, because this is how you have engagement with other people. By a show of hands, how many people have now connected with Beverly on a level that they have never before because they didn't know these things about her? I'm actually going to raise my own hand, because R&B, soul music, the piano, those are all things that I love. So instantly, what do I have now? I have a different connection. And look on the screen, there's hands going up left and right. Why? Now people relate to you on a totally different level.
Mhm.
It's like, hey guys, I'm gonna play you, like Eric King does this. Let me play you a little bit of piano. Let me share with you a music I'm listening to. Also, let me share some thoughts with you about the real estate market. Like, it's, you have them, right? They've connected with you. So now that they're listening to you as a human being, now you can infuse things about the real estate market. Every
Yeah.
single Saturday and Sunday, that's what I do. I listen to music,
Oh,
right?
wow.
I see, thank you. So you're like, oh, so I post about music every single Saturday. I play a record and I post it. I just want to share with the world what I'm listening to. So Beverly, you have just started to identify what your brand is, right? Think
Okay.
about that. You've
Mhm.
started to identify, and this is a work in progress, you've started to identify what your brand is. So now start speaking about the things that lit you up, right? You literally lit up the health and the family and singing in church and like the
Mhm.
art. I never knew that you drew. Why don't you showcase some of that stuff? They
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't care. I'm just sharing. Because you know
Okay.
why? Social media is about engagement. And I promise you, someone's going to be like, oh my God, you're an artist? I'm an artist. I didn't know. That's beautiful. Cool. Now
Mhm.
you have a new type of relationship that is not just singular. So Beverly, really, really good stuff. I never knew all this stuff about you. I'm loving this conversation. Let's go to Amanda. Amanda, let's go to you next. We'll go to Otis. We'll go to Joe Ellen.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So I wrote down a few things. I have a lot to share with Beverly. I also like to do travel. I did a lot of road trips and hiking in my neighborhood. And one thing that is pretty special about me is I'm a football fan. So Italian soccer, Premier Soccer. So my dream is to go to World Cup one day. So this year is going to be the World Cup in Qatar. I would like to see it in person. So I always love to share that on my social media. But at the end of the day, I thought about why do I like to share all my life, my family. I remember my humble beginning. I came to United States as a Hong Kong immigrant back in 1995. I didn't have a car. I have my two younger brothers to take care. And I always try to find friends that have a car who can give me a ride. And when I was in UCLA, I was pretty poor. I was living on a very, very little budget for my food. And I remember every Tuesday, there's a taco special in Taco Bell. And I bought 10 tacos. And I thought that would last me for the whole week. So I always remember my humble beginning. And I thought, why do I want to share all this? Why do I have all this in my life now? Because I work really hard. And my passion is to help people who just came to United States to enjoy the things that I can have this today. So when I meet people, I like to share I'm living a good life. It's really because of this country, the people that helped me when I first came, and I worked really, really hard. So I wanted to share more gratefulness and the things that this country allowed me to do on my Instagram. And I don't think I'm sharing enough. I didn't get the message across. I'm sharing my lifestyle, but I didn't get the message across.
Powerful. So let's do a survey once again. How many people have give me a heart on the screen with that reaction button below. How many people have connected with Amanda on a completely different level and we didn't know, right? There's so many people on this call that came from immigrant families or maybe came here as an immigrant themselves, right? And like, think about that messaging and how she's going to serve and how she wants to serve. So look around, Amanda, this is your audience, right? This is a survey and we're just doing this. This is a social survey. So good stuff, Amanda. I love that. Really, really powerful. Otis, you had your hand up, brother. Let's hear from you. And if you can, please put your camera on if you are going to contribute.
Worst timing ever. Can you guys give me 1
Yeah,
second?
I'll come right back to you.
I'm changing the dirty diaper.
No worries, man. Let's go to King Swanee. Let's go over to you, big dog. Camera on if you are going to contribute.
All right, so music for sure is outside of real estate is probably my biggest passion. Sports. Before I was into music and into real estate, I was sports editor of my high school newspaper. I'm big on sports. That's what I wanted to do at one point. It's like be on ESPN and shit. So cooking. My wife's always getting on me because I'm always looking up recipes and trying new stuff. So I love to get in the kitchen and throw it down. And sneakers. I love sneakers.
All right, so let me ask you a question. I never knew that you were a Bay Area MC. I never knew that until a couple months ago, and somebody told me that, which I think it's really cool. So let's do a quick survey. How many people, obviously I just said it, but how many people prior to coaching calls knew that Michael Swanson was a Bay Area MC? Give me a show of hands if people knew that. Okay, so one, so not too many people. That's a huge part of your life, right? But we don't know that part of your life. And I promise you, someone's going to see that and connect like, man, I make music. I'm trying to, buy homes for my family. I'm trying to do things. Or, man, I didn't know that somebody that was a writer could go into real estate and be themselves, right? Right. So I think that there's a message there, not only for consumers, but a message there for agents that are looking at you guys and being like, man, Damian, man, Amanda, Michael, you're just like me. And now you're giving me hope that I can do those things that I've wanted to do. And thank you for being that like voice for me. So Michael, I love it. And what's like on the menu this week? What's one thing you want to cook?
Well, tonight I'm cooking steak and lobster tails. So
I mean, I love this, bro. Like, here's the thing. V has made a really great story and a page and like infused cooking. And like the cooking realtor, I think that's her hashtag, but like, it's amazing to see like how she infuses, her newest recipe. She talks about real estate. So she has different type of engagement. So Michael, I'm looking forward to seeing the video about this. And I'm looking forward to Kenny and I getting an invite for lobster. So I thank you.
And to give you a heads up, I'm actually in the works of starting like a sports podcast too. So I'll drop that for y'all when it's
Hold on
started.
really quick, guys. What's the sports podcast?
I haven't even thought of a name yet, but me and my boy, we're big on sports. The office in Fairfield here has a podcast room that we can rent out. And so we've been talking about getting that together. So it'll be coming soon.
Man, I absolutely love this. All right. So let's go to somebody else had their hand up. Does anybody else want to contribute or anything that they want to provide? I saw Otis. Anybody else have any thoughts, dialogue on this subject? Well, you guys are taking it easy on me. Okay. All right, cool. How many people, give me a reaction on their screen, have, how many of you have this kind of opened your eyes to what's possible on social? Just give me a reaction with the below. Okay. All right, cool. So keep them coming. I love this. I love this. So you guys are the characters in your own life. You guys have the ability to document the things that you are truly, truly passionate about. And I want to go over to Eric because I think Eric has been a huge, huge proponent of this. He has walked in his own purpose. He has created content that is indicative to who he is as a human being. And I think that that's really led to a lot of his success and why consumers choose to work with him, because he's authentic, right? And stylistically, he does things a little bit different. So Eric, I want to hear from you, my brother, because I know that you're talking about things that are passionate, but when did that happen? When did you make that shift and why did it happen? So Kang, I'm going to turn it over to you for a moment.
Oh, shucks, Elias.
I know.
So for me, I grew up listening to punk rock music, and I grew up, having trouble with authority and not necessarily aligning to the norm. And so for me, I think when I joined real estate, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to tell my friends that I joined real estate. I felt like I was a sellout. All my rock and roll friends, or not all of them, but a lot of my rock and roll friends called me a sellout, and that, I was becoming a gentrifier and blah, 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 blah. And so I was embarrassed. And so I was kind of a secret agent at first, right? Didn't really post stuff online besides like, you know, open house info and stuff like that. But then I realized, you know, I guess when it really happened was when I met my now friend, a client named Tripper, and he was a lawyer that ran his own mediation company. It was kind of a big deal. He started off looking at condos at like the 1.5 range. At that time, I was so nervous about it. I actually asked Kenny to go with me on our first showing. And, you know, one thing led to another. He started looking at $2-3 million single family homes in Rockridge and stuff like that. And I think what really made a difference to me was, you know, he started looking through my Instagram and was like, dude, I appreciate that you're being yourself. And he's like, when I look at your Instagram feed, I saw something about you and your family and how much you love them. And then also I started watching your stories and you just acting like a jackass and whatever. And he was like, you know, I appreciate that because not all agents are like that, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, when he told me that, I was like, when a high power lawyer that I was super intimidated by, you know, told me that he started working with me because he truly liked who I was, that's when it just everything came down. And I was like, fuck it. You know what? If I can convert dudes like that, I'm just going to be myself. And so it's really proven success and truly made me way more happy, to be honest, you know, because I didn't feel like a poser anymore. Because you know what, before real estate, I didn't even know what chino pants were. You know, I thought Banana Republic was a produce store. You know what I'm saying? And when I first started, I went there and bought button-up shirts and shit and started being someone I wasn't. And it was making me unhappy. It sucks. I hate wearing chino pants and button-ups. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? So when I decided to be my true authentic self and showcase that on Instagram, I mean, shit, I got so many referrals and repeat business because of that, you know? And I think it's important in a sea of sameness with a bunch of square ass, boring ass agents out there, all fitting the norm, you know, when they see people that are different, they want to work with you and fuck with you. So that's kind of, you know, what kind of really changed my life. And I'm so grateful to be a part of a team where our mantra is to be ourselves, right? And you know what I'm saying? That's why I fucks with Team Fast because, man, I was over at KW and I wore a Hawaiian shirt one time and I walked in and they gave me the stank eye and I was like, fuck this ain't me and I hate this shit. And you know what I mean? So ever since then, it's been a true blessing to be surrounded by, you know, like-minded people too. So be yourself, fuck everyone else. Who cares what people think? That's what I gotta say.
You know what? I love this. And here's the thing, you guys, you have to reflect and you have to look, you are in a public role. So for the people say, oh, I don't want to put stuff on social, I promise you, you're just missing. You are missing so much business out there and you're missing an ability to speak in your own voice and build a brand that is yours, right? When we think about Team Fast and Fast Real Estate, I always tell agents that are thinking about joining our environment is that we were able to throw conformity as far out the window and we didn't want to build a brand based on how someone else told us it should look or feel. That's why this brand feels and it's different and it feels and looks different. So love this conversation, you guys. But what I want to see more of and what I want to challenge everybody do today is to create some content. Now that we have the Instagram channel for Team Fast, I want to challenge everybody. And if you're up for the challenge, then do it. If you are not up for the challenge, it's okay. You're going to get the same results as you guys have gotten. So my challenge is to you, it's like, first off, identify what is your and, right? Whether that's and music, travel, growth, food, culture, people, nightlife, adventure, whatever that is, and start to talk about those things because people will tune you out if it's always, always, always about real estate. If I post something about Silas, I get tons of engagement. People love him. They love him. If I post pictures of me and my lady, I get tons of engagement. They like seeing happiness. What's wrong with talking about love anymore? Don't be afraid, right? There's a lot of millennials out there that like don't talk about love anymore. Like talk about things that are meaningful to you because then people will connect with that messaging. So I want to push you. I want to implore you to simply turn the camera on and talk. Shout out to Vanessa. And here's why. She was the first one to get this to me. And if you guys have not done this, You guys are the coaching disciples. You guys come to coaching. You guys are here. You guys are in this environment. I need a favor from you. Can you guys do something for me? Like, you don't know what it is yet, but can you do something for me? Okay, I appreciate all the nods and the thank yous. Appreciate you. I need you guys to respond to the email that I sent yesterday at 7:57 a.m. This here is a video ask for your unique value proposition. The reason this was created is it is an ability for you to really get on the mic and talk about what is your UVP. Your UVP is your unique value proposition. Why should someone work with you? Why do they work with you? I want to be able to house these, and I want to be able to use those for future training opportunities. And I also want it to be able to have you articulate this message. Vanessa created hers yesterday, and she did a really good job. You can hear her kids in the background. You can hear the things that she's wanting to accomplish. She wants relationship over transaction. She's here for the long haul. So what I want to see you guys do, I want to push you, I want to implore you, I want to motivate you to take action. A, create some content today, tag us and tag the team fast. B, go in here and create your unique value proposition. I gave a kind of a breakdown on what the UVP is, what that means to you, so you can get really clear on your messaging. And this is going to grow over time. But if you had an opportunity and someone says to you right now, you have one chance to sing your song to me and prove to me why I should choose you as a realtor, go. I have integrity. I'm on. No. Start over. What is that? What is that true unique value proposition? So if you guys are up for the challenge, if you guys can do that for me, that does something for you, can you please give me a raise of hands that you guys will do this down below so I can watch your videos? Okay, Cynthia, give me some reactions. Christian, Joellen, Michael Swanson, Nias, Jewel, Otis, thank you. Alex, Amanda. Okay, cool. You guys, Kenny and I are really looking forward to watching these videos. Then we're going to give those videos over to Cynthia, and Cynthia is going to store all those videos in Mighty Network. How powerful that is for a new agent that's coming in and says, you know what? Let me look at Melinda. She's a mom, like I'm a mom. Like, wow, like I connect with that. Now it gives me some inspiration on how to develop mine, right? What is it? What is your UVP? So first things first, let's do that. Now, let's do this. I want to have a little bit of dialogue. In this last week, what has happened in our real estate community that's going to affect buyers? What is something that happened over the last couple of days? What is the buzz around the industry? What is going on right now that has been a major, major buzz? Anyone want to take themselves off of mute and tell me? It's 2 words. Anybody? Go ahead. Go ahead, Kev.
Listing agents calling to see if we want to write an offer.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, that two-way dialogue was never there. It's slowing down in around where I'm at, for sure.
Okay, so instead of them just sitting back and holding all the power and having the throne, they're sitting back like, so are you going to be submitting an offer on Main Street?
Yeah.
Okay, so that shows you something is changing.
Definitely.
Okay, all right, cool. So Ernesto, you put it in the chat, so you identified what I was talking about. So let's have a little bit of a conversation about this. So what's the dialogue? How are you communicating with your clients? How is this coming up? What are people saying to you? I want to hear from you, Ernesto, and what this actually sounds like. Oh, there you go.
My first time Zooming while driving.
Okay. You could, if you're driving, you could cut the camera, bro. I want you to stay safe and stay present, but let's hear your voice, man.
I'm good.
Okay.
I posted a video a couple days ago that was a little controversial, and my point of the video is that I personally don't talk about interest rates. It goes back to a couple things that I learned early on in my sales career. I don't sell out of my own pocket. It is not my job to judge whether or not somebody can afford something or not. I might consult them. I don't know how bad they want this. The only thing I worry about, and the model that I use, I call it it's called the 3 Fs. Again, I don't consider interest rates. Hey, you want to buy a house? Cool. Just work for your family, just work for your future, just for your finances. Like, that's all I worry about. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not an economist. I'm not a lender. Like, do you want to buy a house or not? I'm just a Sherpa. I'm going to get you to the top. I'm not going to convince you to buy a house right now. And if you think it's too expensive, and if you think now's not the right time for your family, that's awesome. I respect your decision. So I don't worry about interest rates, but a lot of people are. They're talking about them. But, you know, and it has been a buzz. And yeah, it impacts affordability. But, you know, the analogy that I give is gasoline is currently $6. Who's staying home because $6 gas? You're going to do it anyway, right? So that's my perspective on how to address interest rates.
I love this, and I absolutely love this, because let's think back to the 80s, you guys. People were purchasing houses with an 18% interest rate. 18% interest rate. People weren't slowing down. They were still buying homes. And just like right now, like, am I still driving my car, and am I still driving it pretty fast when I want to? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I love this. I love this. So let's talk. Let's have a little bit of dialogue. Ernesto, was that a new hand?
Yeah, I'm gonna just add one more thing. We're talking about marketing. Yeah, so we're talking about marketing, right? We're talking about being your authentic self so that people can align with you and they're you know, they can relate to you, right? There's the whole thing that goes back to, you know, the Dale Carnegie book. What is it? Winning Friends and Influencing.
Yep.
With people like us. So it's important for us to be authentic and to be human and to kind of show that personal side of our lives so that people feel comfortable with us the day that they actually meet us face to face. But I did see what I thought was a really good video yesterday. Silvano Barosio of the Barosio Group, they're running a video where they're very specific about a pain point. They made a video doing a case study. So it's like, hey, are you thinking about selling, but you're afraid to sell because you don't want to be a buyer in this market? Let me explain to you how we help solve that problem and make this process really, really easy. So I'm a big fan of addressing pain points. Like the analogy that I give is I'm just a doctor. I'm going to sit here and listen to what you're going through. And then I'm going to figure out if I have a solution for that or not. That's all that I do. So the fact that they're speaking to a very specific pain point and they have proven that they have a solution for that, I really, really like that.
Beautiful, beautiful. I absolutely love this. All right, so let's go on. Let's have some more dialogue. I think that this is flowing really, really well. Let's go to Aaliyah. Aaliyah, you've been practicing dialogue. She loves when I call on her on the spot. She just really like waits for me to call on her. So Aaliyah, I'm going to call on you. So when you're talking to a client and now the interest rates have gone up and they say, you know what, we've been searching for months. Doesn't seem like we're going to find a home. Interest rates are going up. We want to see if maybe we should just wait until they go down. Like, how are you having this communication? We hear from Ernesto and how he's having his, and you might have a different vantage point for and the way that you articulate this. So how are you having that communication with your buyers? We've been searching for months. Seems like we're not going to find a home. Now interest rates are going up, and should we just wait until they go back down?
Yes, totally understand your concern, Elias. There's kind of two parts to this. One of them obviously is affordability, but the other part is your motivation in the first place to want to buy a home. Let's go back to that. Where were you at when you first decided you wanted to purchase a home? What were the reasons that are driving you?
Yeah, just, you know, to really build some wealth for the family and not have to pay our $3,000 rent every single month anymore.
Yeah, totally. Is that still your goal?
It is.
Okay. And do you think that will be your goal in still 3 months from now, 6 months from now?
Yeah, that's not going to change.
Okay. So then I think that since that's your goal and you don't see that goal changing anytime soon, that we should continue working towards getting you, or we should keep working towards you achieving that goal, regardless of what the interest rates are, because yes, interest rates are going to go up and they're going to go down, but we can't predict when that's going to happen. So if you end up waiting, you're losing out on an opportunity to build wealth for your family.
Wow, cool. Well said. I love this. Absolutely love this. Cool. So let's continue cruising on. I'm loving this dialogue. I'm loving your guys' participation today at a high level. I want to call on Donna. Donna, if you have a moment, if you can put your camera on and contribute to this conversation, we'd love to hear from you and how you're having these, you know, high level, astute conversations with your consumers, if they are on the fence or if they're facing troubles or if they have apprehensions or trepidations about the market. Donna, can you speak to this? All right, cool. We're going to go Donna once, Donna twice, and we're going to continue cruising on. Let's go over to Melinda. Is that a new hand up, or is that the same hand from earlier? Melinda?
Same hand from earlier.
All right, cool. Well, since it's up, I'm just going to call on you. So let's talk about this. I'm going to take a different context here. So you're working with me. I'm searching for homes in the Livermore, let's just say Livermore, San Ramon, Dublin area. What is your strategy? What is your battle plan? You know, we worked with a real estate agent last year from Redfin, and they showed us a bunch of homes. Like, what is the actual strategy that you have that will get our offer accepted in this highly competitive market? Because my wife doesn't want to go through all those highs and lows again. So what's the strategy? Because I want to know that before I even choose to work with you.
Absolutely. The strategy is kind of geared towards what it is you're looking for, what didn't work with the other realtor, and what I can do to obviously overcome any objections.
Okay.
And
So
basically start there.
Talk to me like I am a consumer. I want to know what your strategy is and what your dialogue is and how you're going to get my offer accepted in this super competitive environment.
Oh my God, you just threw me in there. Again, Elias, what didn't work for you with the other realtor? What didn't they do for you that
We
maybe
told them the offer to write, and they wrote the offer for us.
Okay. God, you always get me, Elias. I'll be right there. I'm sorry, I'm at work.
It's okay. If you want to pass, just say pass.
I passed. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. That's why we're here. That's why we learn here. We don't practice in clients. Ted, you had your hand up. So same exact question, and you're going to take yourself off of mute, Ted. So Ted, let's hear from you. We were working with an agent last year. We were looking Elk Grove, Citrus Heights. We were looking in Midtown. They would show us homes, and we'd tell them to write the offer, and nothing ever got accepted. So what's your strategy?
Well, my strategy would be that I will show you the data in the neighborhood you are looking for. So we got to have a plan. You know that homes are going 10%, 15%, or X amount of dollar. I will give you the exact amount, how the houses are closed, so we can approach it with that. Just writing an offer as a full price these days, the last couple of years, is not going to work. So, but I will have a strategy for that particular any neighborhood that you're looking for to show you the data. So we'll approach with the data to see how things are closed. And that way, when we write an offer, we have a very good chance with my recommendation at what price to come, so we can be successful at that.
Good. Oh, I love it. I love it. Well said.
We can't just write offers because there are multiple offers.
Okay.
Right now, just to be honest with you, right now we dropped down to about 3 to 5. It would have been 5 months ago, meaning was November, December, we had 11 to 12 offers because the interest rate was 3 and under. Now that is higher. There's still multiple, but it's not abundant. There are offers. So that would be this number one, because I know the area. You see, you got to do, it could be San Ramon, Danville, any other area. So my job as your realtor is to educate you with the driven data, the correct data, to show you what closed last week or 2 days ago.
I love this. Okay, driven data, right? Every single offer that you write is a science project, and I always say this, right? You have to look at the pocket neighborhoods, what's going on there, like do your research, do your homework, and that is driven data. I love it. Randy, I'm going to come to you next. My wife and I have been looking for a home. We had a realtor before. They always told us that, yeah, I've been in the game for 14 years. This guy probably said that like 20 times, that he'd been in the real estate game for 14 years. My wife started to get frustrated. So we're looking at buying a home in San Leandro, but my wife is really particular with who we work for, Randy, or who we work with. So Randy, why do we choose you, man? I want to know the human side of you. I don't care about your 14 years of experience. I don't care if you've sold one deal, right? Why the heck are we going to choose you? And what is your strategy and how you're going to get my offer accepted, man? Can you tell me that so I can at least convey that message to my wife?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say work with me because I know the market, I know the area. I've grown up in the Bay Area, in the East Bay. I know the good schools, I know the good neighborhoods. So I've been in your shoes before. And my strategy is, excuse me, really trying to understand what your needs are and creating a specific plan to reach those needs, right? And setting expectations up front too, because yeah, it is a challenging market on the buyer side, but it's still possible. And so knowing what you're getting into and then providing all the data that you need to make the right decision for you and your family.
All right, so Randy, so help me understand this, like in a traditional interview setting, like who are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself. I love that question.
Sure. So about me, like I said, born and raised in the Bay Area. I live in the East Bay in Pleasant Hill. Married, I have 3 kids, 3 daughters. So a 7-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old. So some of the things, that for me that are important are knowing some of the good neighborhoods that have good schools, because that's important to me and my family, right? I have kids that are school age or going into school. So that's something that I am constantly aware of, right?
Perfect.
And yeah, sorry, go on.
No, really good stuff. I'm a dad, right?
Right.
I have girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
I instantly connect with that message because now there's a human side of it, right? I don't care if you've been in the game for 14 years, that's important. However, who are you? What is your strategy and how are you going to get my offer accepted in this super, super competitive landscape? And I love that. I love that. I want to share something with you guys. I'll drop it. I'll have Judith drop it. Let's see here. Where is that? Okay, cool. I'm gonna drop this so you guys can use this. Now, you guys can use this as kind of a reference point when you're talking to your consumers, because unless you're face to face with them and you're sitting at their house or at a coffee shop, you guys are gonna have to fill this out on your own, and so take some notes. So this is a good way to kind of frame your conversation when you're really, really building up exactly what you are going to do for them and find out more about their search, right? What is the big why and why are you looking for a new home? So being able to get super, super granular with exactly the reasons. And I want you to go a layer deeper. If I tell Aaliyah, well, my big why is stability for my family. So Aaliyah, can you tell me a little bit more and elaborate on that? I want to know exactly what's behind that. If you were to ask me that question, I didn't grow up with stability. I didn't have that. I didn't have that from my family. I didn't have any of that. I grew up rough childhood. So stability for me is everything to make sure that my kids never have to struggle. There's a deeper purpose there, right? Now I'm connected on a totally different level. What areas, price points, would they consider new homes? When are they looking to move exactly within 6 months? Do they want to be inside the new house in 6 months, or do they want to start the search within 6 months? Like, tell me a little bit more. You can say exactly what they're looking for house size, square footage, so on and so forth. Do you want to be close by schools, parks, shopping, public transportation? No, I'm not saying ask this like an interrogation. So tell me, Aaliyah, please consider the following. Now, how important is energy efficient? Like, I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is be able to have some key questions that are really getting down to the root for exactly what these people are looking for. If you're able to really fine tune exactly what they're looking for and you focus on this, being able to get their dream wish list, you'll be able to better serve the consumers. I'll make sure that Judith drops this in Slack, that way you guys all have it. Use this as a reference point. If you want to do this when you're sitting across the table with them, cool. But if it's on Zoom, just like, hey guys, I'm gonna ask you some questions about your dream home wish list so I can make sure I can really, really match up your needs to the home that we are finding for you. It will allow you to go layers and layers deeper. So I'll make sure that you guys have that as well. So let's do this. Let's go through the room. I want to ask a couple people what their key takeaways were from today's session as we come to the tail end of group coaching. And I want to tell you guys this. Your guys' dialogue, thoughts, insight, and your contributions today were absolutely next level. But why were they next level? Because where did we start? We started with what you guys are truly passionate about. We started with what means something to you. And then you saw everyone light up the screen with like, I'll go. Man, I connected with Beverly. Let me go next. So we started out with something that you're passionate about, and look how it carried the conversation throughout the entire group coaching. So shout out to everybody that contributed on the call today. Let's go to Cynthia. Go Ted. You got your hand up, bro. You're still muted.
Yeah. So I'll be brief. What my takeaway from today is have my value proposition to the point when I talk to the leads that I don't know. I just got it in my website or other things or referral. Past clients, you know how to wiggle it because you dealt with them. I mean, I'm dealing with two that I've dealt with them for the last 12 years. So I don't have to, excuse me, sell my value, even though I have to know the market, because right now we're writing 2-3 offers or not sticking. So know my value proposition. And then if they're new, I got to be able to sit down. You showed that dream homework wish list, but you got to have it here as well, that listening to them first, connect with them, and then be able to outline a plan of action to move forward in this tough market to get them. So my takeaway honestly is have the value proposition, do that video, and also just be ready for the market. It's again, just briefly, when I graduated from San Jose State in 1982, about a year later, my brother and I, with my dad's help as a down payment, bought a house. Check this out, man, 13.5% interest rate. 13.5%. We were jumping joy because the interest rate at the bank was 18%.
And what did you purchase the house for?
282. It's probably 282,000. I know, but it was a brand new house, barely a year old. I remember where it was. But people don't understand. It's my generation, not my dad's generation. We bought it for 13.5%. But then, see, that's the thing. Right now it's high. I was telling one of the clients I don't know deep. I said, look, it's not going to always stay this. 2 years from now, you can refinance. 3 years from now, you can refinance. So I calculated the pain of additional payment from that. They keep thinking, oh, I wish I would have bought it in December. Which is maybe, but in his case, $400 a month. I calculated that. I said, look, put that on top of the purchase price. Imagine you're buying that house instead of $650, you're buying them at $690 because you're paying the next 2 years $40,000 more because of the $450 or $500 per month. But you can refinance it. Yeah. And then lastly is this. I said, look, people who bought 5 years ago, they made $200,000 to $300,000 gain. I sold 5 of those the last year. Okay. So I said, how is the waiting for you has done? The waiting is still done for you. So you keep on waiting, is just going to lose. And then you have to find out, is this a short term or is this a long term? If they're investors or they're flippers, or are they going to live there for 7 to 10 years? And show them the history.
This great insight, Ted. I appreciate you contributing at a high level today. Cynthia, let's go to you. Key takeaways from today. And actually, Cynthia, I'm going to have you wrap up our session and take us off the field today.
Okay, awesome. So my biggest takeaway is I've been researching like where the market's going. Of course, right? We should be doing this on the daily or weekly, but I didn't realize that in Kevin Magna's market, it was starting to slow down that much. So thank you for that, Kevin. I knew that it was slowing down in some areas. I didn't realize how hyper local it is to us already. So that was great. Second takeaway was, it's not so much a takeaway, it's a point of incredible gratitude and pride for you guys. Hearing Aaliyah, the confidence that Aaliyah has now compared to 6 months ago blows my mind and makes me so proud. And she comes to these sessions. I always see Aaliyah here. I always see her really just going after it. So I'm so proud of you folks that are coming to this so often and really making sure that you're taking away, you're listening, you're actually taking action on these things. And it just makes me so proud of you all. So keep getting after it. Keep attending the group sessions. Pick each other's brains. Look, Aaliyah's a newer agent. I'm a newer agent. Really, let's work together, pick each other's brain, work with each other's dialogue. And look, it's only the middle of the week. You can reset today and say, I'm going to have a great week. I'm going to be hyper productive from this point forward. And boom, go out and kill it. And know that we believe in you. And if y'all ever need anything, who do you reach out to? To each other, to us. We're here for you.
That's right. I appreciate you, Cynthia. Look at what Kenny just wrote. Buyers worried about 1% interest or increase in interest rates when they have been missing out on 15 to 20% appreciation each year in the Bay Area. Think about that, right? Think about that, and coincides perfectly with what Ted said. So you guys, action. Rakitha said when she talks to me, I'm always about massive action. 1, create a list of things that you're passionate about. Do an audit on your social media and say, am I even talking about those things? And if you're not, start doing that, because I promise you, it's easier to talk about the things that you're truly, truly excited and passionate about. 2, I need your UVP. I want you to do it for yourself. I want you to be able to articulate that message, and I want to be able to use it for future endeavors and training. You guys, thank you for showing up in a big way. We are off to Arizona to go present at the Think Bigger Mastermind, and I'm excited to contribute, but more so, I'm excited for what I'm about to learn and bring back to you guys. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. I appreciate you more than you guys will ever know. Peace, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, you guys.